Good morning and welcome to Eternity Speaks. I'm Reverend Bill Eggleston, and I hope that everyone's had a great week and is doing well. You may notice things are a little different. They're pretty different for me too. I've moved to a different place. That's why I haven't been around. Um, Thankfully, Barry's been keeping track of everything for me and keeping everything moving. Can't thank him enough for that. Uh, it's Things are odd. It's with a new place and a new everything, um, especially during the holidays. Like all the traditions and everything that I'm used to are different. Um, it's kind of my first Christmas, well, second Christmas actually. Uh, there's a big change. We can just call it that. Uh, Learning new things and just figuring everything out. But I do got to say that even when I thought everything was at its darkest, I never lost my faith. Everything I always knew everything's going to work out. I kept telling that to myself over and over again. Everything will be fine. Everything will work out. And every time I thought I would run into a snag or something that just I don't know how I'm going to get through this. Don't know how I'm going to get over it. It God always came through. Uh, Always put someone or something in my path that would fix whatever was going on. Um, I was with moving into this place. I've moved in with my girlfriend. We're together. We're here. We've got a place, and we've decided to do some remodeling. And we kept running into different problems. Uh, Problems with the countertop. I got that all set to go, and I start cutting, and half the power goes out in the house. And I didn't know what to do. I prayed about it, and then all of a sudden, out of the blue, I'm like, someone happened to mention it at work. How's it going? And I told them what happened. They're like, oh, you need to talk to this guy. I was like, okay. So I talked to him. He goes, yeah, no problem. I'll be over tomorrow night. We'll take a look at it. I didn't even reach out really to anybody. It just kind of fell into place, and things have that just seems to be the way it is. When you start living in the truth, you start depending on God for the things that He wants you to depend on Him for, and you start listening to those little inklings and little feelings and things. When you start listening to those and trusting them and just praying about things and just having faith in it, you'd be surprised. You'd be really shocked actually about all the things that the way everything comes together. Uh, even the show this morning, I mean, I we're coming back into this. I've been gone for what the last three shows. Uh, just there was just nowhere to do it. Um, Half of my things were at this house and half were at the old house. And until I got everything together, there wasn't much I could do. Uh, even even an hour ago, I was just barely setting this stuff up. There's a lot that goes into this. I got lights and everything, and I didn't know how any of it was going to work. But just like little puzzle pieces, it all just started kind of fitting together. Because it's supposed to. This is what I'm supposed to do. So so that's just kind of how it worked. Uh, I didn't even have a chance to write anything for today. That's why this is kind of from the hip here. Um, there, it's just everything has been upside down a lot lately, and I'm really happy. I have all of you that have kind of helped me through it. Uh, little messages here and there, checking in on me, seeing how things are going. It's been pretty humbling actually. Uh, but we're going into the Christmas season now, so everything is changing. Of course, here in South Carolina, there's no snow on the ground or anything. That's As a kid, that was always my cue. Christmas is coming. It's starting to get everything's turning white out there. It's getting cold. Well, it's 57 degrees right now here. No snow. It's sunny out. So, but but yeah, it's just when you think everything is going south real fast. Uh, the world is too much. God's there. You pray, and you'll find an answer one way or another. Even if it's something in the most unexpected things. Uh, you just you just have to have faith. Uh, Things seem their darkest. Keep your faith. Uh, but everything seems to be picking up now. Next week's show will be better. I'll be more prepared now that I know how everything's got to connect. Even my connections were different because I don't have everything set up. So it's we were lucky to get the show up and running this morning. Um, but a lot of technical difficulties, but we seem to have overcome those. Uh, but just especially this time of year, it that everything is so frustrating right now because of well, there's still some people sick. There's holiday shopping. There's traffic. There's the stores are overcrowded and everything, and it just I can see how it could get very discouraging very quickly. Um, like I'm always saying, everybody's going through something. Well, I've got a son in the Marines. He can't come home for Christmas. I got a daughter I got a daughter in boot camp, Navy boot camp right now. This is her first time away from home, even. So she's kind of she's feeling that, and I'm feeling it too, not having them close. But we still communicate. We're still everything's still good there, uh, keeping each other's spirits up. But no matter what you think you're going through, there's God's always with you. He's always there. You're never alone. You're never you don't ever have to do everything on your own. You can you can talk to them. You can talk to them just the way I'm talking to you right now. You don't have to worry about people thinking you're crazy. You know, I always thought that when I pray out loud, but I don't really care. I'm not praying for them. I'm praying for myself, and I know who I'm talking to. But yeah, I know I'm rambling a bit, but like I said, I didn't have an opportunity to do a whole lot. This kind of came together quick for this show. I had to do something to get back set up again. So I didn't have a chance to write much. Uh, but yeah, so um, rather than keep rambling on, I'll have something better next week. But I just want to give you a little update on what was going on and how things are going. Things are getting better. Uh, I can feel I can feel that support from everybody around me with the messages I get and the comments and everything, and it's means a lot. It really does. So rather than continue to ramble, I'm going to go ahead and turn the show over to Barry and our special guest, John the Baptist.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Well, welcome back.
Yeah, glad to be back. At least in some capacity. 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 At least in some.
Well, that was a technical problem we were talking about a little earlier. So sadly, I had to take him out. Anyway, okay. This week is John the Baptist. Next week, we are going to have St. Thomas. He's going to be speaking to us again. He's been with us before. So John is ready. Let us begin. Hello, everyone. Seems like I always want to talk about beginnings. I was there. Yes, I truly was there when Jesus began his wonderful ministries. I knew that was my role. I knew that I was supposed to be sent back. I knew that I was supposed to guide him in the beginning. And I knew pretty much what I was supposed to be doing with my life. How many of you know what you're supposed to be doing with your life? I know there are people that totally understand. I know that Barry and Connie understand that they're supposed to be spreading the words of God. Of those of us that were close to him, he's supposed to be writing books of God's words and the words of those that were around him. And he's done all this, and he'll be doing more. But how many of you really understand what you're supposed to be doing with your life? It might be a very simple path for you. It might be just simply as helping spread his words. Now, I'm not saying that you have to be doing all of the things that Barry and Bill are doing. I'm not saying that you should ignore your family for spreading his words. There are many people that do a lot of things at the same time. I would really like it if your faith began with your children. You see, the children are the key to the future. If the children don't believe in God, then we got problems. Children are the beginning. You ever think of it like that? Children are the beginning of the next 80 to 90 years of human history. If you can give the children a good beginning, then things will be much better for everyone. You see, children are the leaders of tomorrow. If you lay those future leaders a strong foundation of understanding the words of God, then things are going to go much better for humans in the future. If you pull away from God, then the children, they're not going to do well. There's many examples of that. Today we have countries at war again for no reason whatsoever. Russia has been a very troubled nation. Their children have been affected by war. They've been affected by communism. They have not been affected by a leader that truly ever represented the words of God. So you see, those children have grown up, and you see what you have. They believe that you should just simply take what you want. If you want the resources of another country and you have a strong military, well, just go out and take it. Nobody's going to mind. Well, the people are. The poor people that are involved, or their lives are going to be disrupted. Many of them are going to die. The children of Russia have not had a strong foundation. World War II tore their country apart. World War One affected it. The communists, the Soviet Union, those children have all been affected by all of those influences that have misled them. Now, the United States is a little better. They've had very strong people of God that have tried to bring the messages. Many of the people have ignored those messages. Many of those people use the technology that God gave them to prove that there's no God. Boy, that makes a lot of sense, doesn't it? You see, God tests everyone, and many have been tested by having technology. How you use that technology determines how you will lay the foundation for your children. Many of the people have used that foundation to teach your children that God doesn't exist. If you ask people whether they believe in God, many of them are going to lie to you. They say, "Oh, yeah, I believe in God. I've been given this great foundation. I know all the truths of God." And then they go out and do exactly what they want. They will steal from others. Now, they may not blatantly steal, but they'll figure out, maybe in many instances, how to take people's money. High taxes, that's taking people's money. And what do they use the money for? Many politicians just use it to grow rich. I know you hear many different things and many different messages from Barry. That is the intent. Each time that we come through, he has absolutely no idea what he's going to speak of. He had no idea what I was going to say today, but I'd contacted him and I'd let him know that I wanted to speak. Well, God wanted me to speak. He wants me to try to influence as many as I can. And when I bring a message through, that's what he wants me to do. Any of you out there can face a new beginning. The life that you've lived so far is in the past. Now, I'm not saying that that life that you've lived is going to be forgotten when you return. You'll be told about it, but you can change. You can make this the first day of the rest of your life. You can make this the day that you take the initial steps of laying a foundation of the teachings of God for others. It's not hard. Start with a single person. Tell them that God truly exists. Tell them that when you pray, he hears you. And tell them that he wants you to help others. He wants you to follow a single rule: do unto others as you would have them do unto you. If you don't want anybody else to steal from you, then don't steal from anybody else. If you don't want to be hated, don't hate anyone else. Do what you can to bring happiness and joy to others. There are an incredible amount of people out there now that are hurting. The inflation, it's been terrible. You see, when people become incredibly rich, that is money that is taken from others. Others could be learning, others could be prospering from that money. You see, if an owner of a business is a billionaire, he could have paid higher salaries to the people that work for him. He may have had a little bit less, but nobody needs that kind of money today. Many individuals think that earning money is a scorecard. The more money that they can have in their accounts, the more successful they are. Well, if they don't use any of that money to help others, that money in their account is a scorecard showing how unsuccessful they will be when they return. People with great wealth have great opportunities to help others. Now, many have. Andrew Carnegie is a wonderful example. He was probably the richest person in the world in those days, and he devoted the end of his life to using all of his money to help others. Many of you don't have money to help others. That's a problem. Many of you are wonderful people and are having problems making ends meet. That's terrible. A wealthy society should lay foundations of government and of assistance so that nobody is truly suffering. The organized religions of the world do a great job with charity. That's the best thing that religions do. They help many people. Even if you're struggling, you can help others. Call them on the phone. A phone call is free. Many senior citizens are very lonely. This is a time of year, Christmas, that brings much depression to many. Many people, many seniors, and have seen so many of their family members and friends leave, and they don't. Many of them understand that they're in a far better place, but there's no substitute for loneliness and depression. You can tell yourself that they're in a better place and you can truly understand it, but you still absolutely miss those people. The passing of those around you, it's a difficult test under any circumstances. God made it like this. It's part of your test. You have to understand. Watching others around you pass or have great physical difficulties is a terrible test. But if you thoroughly understand that they're in a better place, that their energies, their soul energies, are still very close to you, they still love the same as they did when they walked the earth with you. The only thing's changed is that they have gone into the dimension of heaven, and you can't speak to them. Well, some can. Barry can. You can't hold them in your arms. You can't give them hugs, but they're still there. Don't ever forget that. Your loved ones are always still close. Love doesn't change when you go to heaven. Those souls in that plane still love the same as they did when they walked the earth with you. You have to remember that. That's the only cure that you're ever going to have for grief and depression. If you focus on that, it can help lead towards a new beginning. Beginnings are generally a good thing. You can begin it at an old age. Nothing stops you from beginning to follow the words of God. Nothing stops you from helping others. Nothing stops you from being positive in how you believe, in being positive in absolutely knowing that God exists. Christmas is approaching very rapidly. Many of you probably won't be allowed to or won't be able to afford to buy presents. Let your love be a present. Show that love to others. Explain to the children that love of God is the most important present that they can ever give themselves. Remember that Christ is the reason for Christmas. Presents are ancillary. Presents are a good thing, but they aren't the best thing. Love of God is the best thing. Love of God is the greatest present that you can give to others. Use the Christmas time to grow close. Know that those around you are not going to be there forever, especially the seniors. They're approaching their time of going home. Make the most of the time you have with them. So I thank you for allowing me to return. I hope that my words will help guide you through these times. I hope that I'll be allowed to return again sometime and speak with you. I know Thomas is coming next week. He said he enjoyed the other times he's been here, so he's going to come back and he'll have a wonderful message. So tell your friends. The message that you would have the ability to speak with Thomas the disciple is a miracle. Have your friends participate in this miracle. So thank you very much. I know that God is here. He's always here. And I know that He is blessing all of you. So goodbye and thank you for listening. Okay, thank you so much, John. Another wonderful message. Uh, I fear our technical difficulties have caught up with us. So generally, I send it back to Reverend Bill, but it ain't going to happen today. So thank you for listening. Next week, as he said, it'll be St. Thomas. His messages have been wonderful before, and they will be again. So join us on Sunday mornings. We'll see if we can have all our technical problems solved by then. So goodbye. Thank you so much, and bless all of you.